Welcome back to Bad Horror. Welcome back to Bad Horror. Why isn't it cutting me off? So you might have noticed that there hasn't been anything labeled Bad Horror or Creepy Files in a while. I've just decided to nix the whole idea of series on the channel for now. I just felt like they were limiting, but as you've noticed, it hasn't really changed what I'm covering. It just means if I want to do something outside the norm, I don't have to make an entire new video series about it, or just a random standalone video that is separate from my other videos. So it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop covering any of the stuff that I did before, it just means I get to cover more things also. But I still have the mug, so we're good. So today we're doing a bad horror adjacent video, but it's not about someone else's bad horror content. It's about my old horror games.
Look at this fire, the house is on fire, oh no.
See, when I was about 11, I was 100% sure I was going to be the next big thing in gaming. There were so many ideas I had that never really came to fruition, including a Sword Art Online fan game.
Hello YouTube, this is founder of Grim Growth Games, and I thought I'd make an announcement.
Again, none of them really worked out until I found a program called FPS Creator. It was essentially a game engine where you put together a bunch of like PS2 looking prefabs to create your own game. There were actually some really good horror games made on there, but mine were not.
So the menu is broken. It just says game menu at the top.
But it allowed me to finally explore game development in a way that was accessible. And so I started by making a game called The Manor House. And oh my god, that is a wild ride. See, I used to have a game company where I hosted all my games called Green Growth Games, and I hosted them all on this .webs website. And so when I made my initial announcement that I was making a game called The Manor House, I didn't actually know that there was a difference between Manor with an O and Manor with two N's and an E. But instead of just going and fixing my mistake so it was The Manor House, I changed the lore to make it so that the last name of the family that owned the house was Manor. You guys think, oh, my Among Us 9,000 IQ plays. You have no idea what cerebral systems power this ingenious mechanism that is my brain. I played some of these FPS Creator games that I made a while ago on stream, and that was a wild ride.
Holy shit, it is loud. And there's swastikas on this table, so I'm just gonna look away from that.
Is that grandmother? The Manor House's sound design is such a gem. And I really thought this was going to become super popular. If you want any idea of the headspace I was in at the time, I literally made this chair that you can pick up with like physics specifically because I was like, when PewDiePie plays this, he's going to pick it up and say it's Mr. Chair. Crazy how the times change. But this would only be the start of my game development journey. I wanted to make something big and extravagant. And so I started on a game called Blackout: A Horror Adventure. Blackout was my most ambitious project yet. Multiple characters, all different levels, different encounters, a full story. And technically, I was able to do all of those things, just not very well.
There's the glowing table that's just a lighting glitch and everyone thought was on purpose.
And of course, because I had the coolest original ideas, I made it so at the end it turns out you were the ghost the whole time. What's crazy to me is that this game came out around the same time as Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Those two compartments of my life seem completely separate, but they were only separated by a couple months. In fact, in some points they overlapped. And so we get closer to the modern day. Back in, I think, 2016, I made a game called Alphabet Lane. I'm not particularly proud about how it turned out, but I like the ideas I had. Chef Poe is a really cool character, I think. I really like the idea of Birdie in the bug vent area, and I mean, Markiplier played my game. I'm pretty happy with that. I got a taste of game development fame, and honestly, I'm fine with that. Now, I do have a couple other projects I've worked on in the past after that, or I'm still working on, but, you know, I'm not as attached to this idea of becoming the next famous game developer. Despite how amateurish and cringy my games were at times, I'm still proud of them because it's something I was really passionate about, and I actually saw the projects all the way through to the end, even if the final product wasn't amazing. And by the way, you can download all of the games I've mentioned in the description if you want. So that was an overview of some of the games I made a while ago. This is a bit of a different video, but I am just really passionate about it, and I thought it would be fun to look back on it. Let me know what you thought in the comments, and follow me on Twitter, because that's where you'll get updates for when I'm streaming at twitch.tv/SaganHawks. See you all next time.